It's recently been announced that You will be returning for a 5th season, but with that, it's going to be the final season of the show. There's a bittersweet feeling that comes with that announcement. It's good because we know that the show is going to finish with an ending in mind whilst we still want to see more, rather than it just being cancelled. But I'm gutted that it's going to be the end of the character Joe Goldberg. He's been a very interesting and complex character to watch throughout the show, and Penn Badgley really has provided a hauntingly charming individual. With the recent announcement, I thought I'd share how I believe the final season of You should and could end. So let's get right into it. Here is how I think You Season 5 should end. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The introduction of Joe's mother and brother. We saw that Joe was back in New York City at the end of Season 4 Part 2, where it all began for him way back in Season 1 when we were first introduced to him. This is the perfect setting for the show to come to its conclusion. We know that Joe had a troubled past, as I broke down in a previous video, but his relationship with his mother and the things that he experienced in his childhood is something that has appeared in flashbacks all throughout the show, showing just how important it is for him even in the present day. We even saw him bumping into his mother in the Season 3 finale as a flashback, where he saw that she was raising his brother and claiming that she needed a restart on her life without him. This is what I think is going to be one of the main focuses in the new season. Joe is now with the woman that he claims that he loves more than anybody that he ever has, which is Kate. But I believe that upon reflecting on why he is the way that he is, and with Joe's mother turning him over to social services after what occurred and by saying that she wanted her life to be without him, he may look to seek out his mother and his brother with the newfound resources and connections that he has due to being with Kate. Or I believe she'll look to get in contact after Joe's newfound fame has made the national news. This is where I think we could see the darkest side to Joe that we've ever seen. He suppressed his childhood, and we've seen small flashbacks of it. This would be something that would mean that he would have to face it head on for the first time in his adult life. Something that he's never done, not even when he was comfortable with love. We know Joe can be a jealous person, so he could well be jealous of his brother. Somebody who got the opportunity to be raised by the person that Joe wanted to spend all of his time with, and even killed for in the past to protect. I believe this could go one of two ways. I think that when Joe meets his mother for the first time, the relationship could potentially start off okay, but I believe she'll end up being an individual that gets kept in his cage. Joe has fully embodied the dark side within him, as we saw in the Season 4 Part 2 finale when Reese was staring right back at him in the reflection of the window, and also in the moment where he framed Nadia, showing that he was just pure evil. So I believe he will be blaming his mother for the life that he endured, the pain that he went through, and the reason he ended up being the way that he is. His brother is somebody that I think he could potentially spark up the initial connection with after tracking him down. That's if Joe's mother doesn't reach out first. I believe he'll befriend him without revealing that he's a relative. Do I think that Joe will kill his mother? He could well do so. However, I think it will be more powerful if she ends up either killing him, or she's able to turn him into the authorities like she did when he was younger, providing a full circle moment and allowing her to be the reason why Joe is left abandoned again. But this time by everybody that he's ever cared for and being found guilty for his crimes. Joe's mother and brother are two very important characters. They could be the key to the demise of Joe. We've only ever seen glimpses, and that's what makes their inclusion so exciting. What should happen to Joe? I think there are a lot of different things that we could potentially see happen to Joe in the final season. Many people believe that he should be killed and receive what he's done to many others, whilst a lot of other people think that he should get arrested and face jail time. And I imagine there is a minority of people out there that believe that he should get a happy ending and be able to run away one final time. But what do I think should happen? Well, I think we should see Joe get caught and face punishment for the crimes that he's committed. I think Joe getting killed wouldn't be a powerful enough ending. We saw that he almost died in the most recent season, so I think that possibility has already lost its effect. Joe being caught and being stood on trial on the stand, having to face punishment for 18 murders along with being the accomplice and an accessory to others from when love killed, would be something that would be utterly shocking, and I have no idea how he'd be able to react to that. We've never seen him in a situation like that. Hearing a prison sentence like we've probably never heard before, Ellie returning and bearing witness, Joe's mother bearing witness, Marienne looking on, Will Blenheim maybe even returning and bearing witness, along with the Quinns being present as well? All of Joe's past would be there, looking over at him. Things that he's run away from for the entirety of the show would be looking over, and he'd feel the burning of their eyes all glaring at him as he'd be forced to confess and take responsibility for all of the terrible things that he'd done over the years. It would be a bit like the Better Call Saul ending, but I imagine far more powerful due to the extremity of the crimes that Joe has committed, and there'd be no sense of redemption for the character. We would see Joe for who he truly was in that moment, a psychopathic killer that murdered for love, passion, and in the end, just to get what he wanted and because he couldn't stop. There would be no charm to save him and no redeeming qualities. I also think that Penn Badgley would act out this scene so well too. I believe Joe will face jail time, and a long sentence at that, and I hope that is the fate that he meets. With Joe Goldberg back in New York City where it all began, and with him having national fame after having articles being written about him, every single person that was ever suspicious of him is now able to know where he is, what he's doing, and they're also able to re-jog their memory of being around him, whether that be from when he was in New York, LA, the suburbs, or London. There are people that are out there that are still extremely suspicious of Joe. Dr. Nikki, the PI from Season 1, Beck and Peach's friends, Ellie, Sherry and Carrie, the Quinns, and many others. So there's nothing to say that they wouldn't alert the authorities about him and get him to be looked into for a crack in the personalities that he's formed and the lives that he's been leading over the course of the 5 seasons. I'm looking forward to seeing what is actually going to happen to Joe in the next season. I believe his relationship with Kate will be relatively smooth. As I said, this is the life that he's always wanted. He's with somebody that he loves, he owns a bookstore, he's back in New York City, and he's living under his real name with no aliases. So I feel it's not going to be focused around a new love interest, rather the person that has lingered in his mind his whole life, his mother. I have a feeling it's going to be the best season that we've ever seen of the show, and I hope that they create an ending that proves to be powerful and allows the character of Joe Goldberg to go out with a bang. But this is how I feel the show could end, and a way that I'd be extremely comfortable and satisfied with it concluding. So, there you have it, how You Season 5 should end. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. How do you think the show should end? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.